So, as promised, here we are. 2 generators. Now, they've been sitting for a long time. That one probably longer than that one. But that one hasn't been started, I don't know, 5 years? That one's probably about the same, I'd imagine, something like that. But, yeah, I promised that I'd get the generators out. Somebody said to me a long time ago now, have you got any generators? And I said, yes. Can you do a video on them? I said, yes. And time passed. We're talking months past. Anyway, we're finally here. Now, it's just going to be fun, really, just to see if they run, and we'll put some power, we'll put something on them, and see how they do. Not for very long, because it's a Sunday morning. I'll piss off the neighbours, but there we go. Yesterday, I got this old girl going. Now, she had been sat in the corner of the garage for 6-7 years, something like that, and the bar had gone rusty, the chain had rusted to the bar. The reason why it was parked up essentially was because the throttle linkage, you can't see it at the moment because I've got the cover on it, but the throttle linkage from the trigger, which is under here, stuck up, there it is, under there, it's all plastic, one piece. It's not like a mechanism, it's just one piece of plastic that goes from the trigger to the throttle, and it snapped. And this was my good go-to sort of chainsaw. I used it for everything. It was a lovely little, small enough and powerful enough. I really liked it. But when that happened, I couldn't find a replacement, so I had to go and use another chainsaw, which I'll do a video of if you want me to, getting that going, because that sat around for a few months because I haven't had any work for it. But anyway, and couldn't find a replacement throttle linkage, so it sat. I just left it. But yesterday, got it going, done a video of it. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look at it. We got it going, we unseized the bar, got the chain going round again, and just, yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying to find a throttle linkage. I'm looking all over eBay. I mean, when one comes up, I'll get one. Even if I have to buy the whole unit just to get the throttle linkage, I will do so, because I love this chainsaw. Perfect little chainsaw. Anyway, it's enough of chainsaws. Back to generators. This one has always been a good generator. They released these Honda EX500s in 1996. I don't know what model this is, whether it's a 96 or if it's a bit later on. Either way, that's when they released them. And they did an EM500. I believe that was for the other market, like the American and European, where they have different plugs. I believe, I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I think. And the EX was for the UK, because we've got our plug on there. I think that's what it's all about. I had an EM500 instruction manual, and it was pretty much identical, apart from the plugs were different, and it done 120 volts instead of 240. So that's what I've come to the conclusion of. When I got this back, probably, I bought this off a bloke in central London. I had to travel all the way to central London to pick this up. And he bought it to power his hedge trimmer in 96 or 90s, and yet I wish I didn't, but I stripped all this off and painted it this sort of different colour red. So it shouldn't be this red, it should be Honda red, but I painted it like this, I think they called it candy apple red or something like that. So, but then, since then, obviously, it's sat around, it's got dusty and looks a little bit tatty, which is nice. I like the tatty look. Oh. So it's always been a good generator. It's always started up. The petrol, if it's got any petrol in it, which I can hear it sloshing around, so it's definitely got some. Yeah, it's got some in there. Don't know how much, but it's definitely got some. What is in there is well, man, at least 6 or 7 years old, at least, maybe more. but it's always started up. So let's try this one first, and then we'll go on to the old Medusa 2-stroke. This one is 4-stroke, by the way, in case you didn't know. So if these put up a fight, this could turn into quite a long video. But anyway, so we've got petrol off, petrol on, and it's also the on and off switch for the engine. So it's, you could call it a kill switch. I think that's what Americans say, isn't it? Kill switch. So it's on at the moment. So petrol now should be flowing into the old carburetor. Leaves all over it, dust all over it. This sat underneath a workbench for quite some time with the drill press on the top of it, and all the oil and everything, and all the debris and the sawdust all come down on top of it. So let's see, is she gonna go? Automatic choke. Oil light has always been on. I've never been able to rectify that before. Well, I'm going to call that one definitely a win. That was first pull. I told you this one's always been a fantastic generator from the minute I got it. I think, I can't remember now, this would have been in many videos when I got it, because I used to do repairing of generators, lawnmowers, chainsaws, strimmers. It was a little thing of mine that I'd done. Bought them at auction or on eBay or wherever, repaired them, made the videos, and then sold them on. And sometimes I come across one that I liked, so I'd keep it, and this was one of them. And I can't remember whether it was a runner or a non-runner when I bought it, but if you really want to find out, just go back on the channel and find the video when I originally got it, and you'll see whether it was a runner or not. But I can't remember. We're talking 6, 7, maybe even 8 years ago, maybe 9, because I think my daughter was only not long born, so it might have been 9 years ago. But so that petrol is probably about the same, because I haven't really used it. So let's move this one out of the way, and we'll get the old Medusa in. Now this one is a 2-stroke version, and here's the instruction manual for it. I've had this one since brand new. I bought it. This is 11 years old, because I bought it brand new in 2012, and it's because we was going camping. Me and my wife, Courtney at the time, hadn't long been together, and we decided we wanted to start going camping. So we had a tent and everything, and then we decided we wanted electric, and we was going wild camping, but we wanted electric. So I bought this generator because it was 2-stroke. The 4-stroke ones are heavier, and I thought to myself, well, I'll get a 2-stroke one because it will be lighter to put in the car and to carry around. That wasn't really true. It's just as heavy, if not probably heavier than that Honda. Anyway, it's been used camping a few times, and then it messed up and it wouldn't run. I got it running a few years ago, and ever since then it's sat underneath the bench. So this one is a two-stroke Medusa. I don't know the CC of it. Yeah, filter's missing its screw. There's the choke. On and off switch. That seems a bit loose. You can put a lead in there, which is up here, for charging the battery. That's the reset button. Exhaust. Easily accessible spark plug, which is handy. Massive exhaust, make it quiet because it's 2-stroke. But yeah, let's mix up this petrol a little bit. It's been in there for years. There's probably not a lot left of it. But anyway, let's see if it'll go. Let's choke. I can't see. Alright, let's choke on. And let's choke off. Right, so that's on now. Plug under there. Reset button. Let's see if she'll go. Is there a oh, there is. Petrol on, look. I forgot all about that. That was lucky. Otherwise I'd have been going, why the bloody hell ain't it working? Let a little bit flow down into that carb. And then we'll see. 50 to 1 it asks for. There's probably 25 to 1 in there, so it's going to be smoky. Right, let's see then. This one you have to put your foot on it because it's got, that Honda's got a compression release. This one hasn't. Well, that, I thought this one might put up a bit more of a fight. It's always been the least reliable out of any generator I've ever had. It works alright when it does go, but getting it going, even from day one, has been an issue. We will get it though. We will get it. Even if we have to do a little bit persuading. Let's take off this air filter. Just foaming that down in there. Shall I bring you a little bit closer? Hang on. Hello. Nice to see you down here. Anyway, so that's choke on. That's choke off. On, off. We don't know if we got any spark yet. I could check that, but we could just cheat. Now, seeing as these are just generators, it's not something which is a major thing. Every now and again, I'm not against putting a bit of spray down its neck. You know what I mean? It's a generator. You know, it's not anything proper important, you know. So, let's get a bit of this. I could use a bit of deodorant, but I've got some engine start, so I might as well use the proper stuff. The problem is petrol. We've got spark, obviously, but we haven't got any petrol. You bastard. I want it to suck some in. There you go, we're starting to run now. There we go, we're sucking in the petrol now. Ho 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 ho. But we did start to suck in the petrol. It's a bit smoky, I might have to take it outside. But sometimes that you can do that, you know. The argument about using it, you know, any sort of starting fluid, is an argument which I don't really care about. Sometimes if you've got an engine which won't start because it's fuel related and it's got a carburetor, might be a little bit of a blockage in the jet or in the fuel, the petrol tap. If you can get it to run on a little bit of whatever you want to try, put some petrol if you want in a spray bottle and spray it in. It'll be enough to suck it in, suck it through, and then you get rid of the blockage. Saves you taking everything apart. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. But this one was starting to run by itself. It started to not be dependent on it. I don't think it's out of petrol. Definitely petrol related. Now, this was the issue that I had before with it, where it would do this. I did rectify it, and I had it running nicely, but obviously sitting around has not done it any good whatsoever. So we might have to do another. Repair video on it, perhaps. That's off. That's on. She runs, just not very well. We'll try one more time. I'll see if I can get it going without any spray on the choke. See, it needs it now. Not now, but there's a fueling issue, and that needs it. See, even on the choke now, it's running out of petrol. By the way, a bit of a myth. A lot of people say if you start to use engine start, ether, anything like that on an engine, it'll become addicted to it and it'll be dependent on it and it'll need it every time. Well, really, that, although it's not good for it, in my opinion, for the bores and all of that kind of stuff, but we'll forget about that. We're on about starting and independence. The reason anybody would want to use some sort of starting fluid is because there's a problem with starting. So to get around the problem, you use a bit of starting fluid. It gets it started. That hasn't fixed the problem. The problem still lies there on in. And the problem itself will get worse, whether it's a fuel pump. If it's on a car, diesel or petrol car, the fuel pump might be going bad. And it needs a bit of a help to get it going from starting, but then it runs okay afterwards. Here is the help. But it hasn't fixed the problem. The problem will get worse and worse. So then the people think that the engine has become addicted to starting fluid, and therefore it needs it every time to start, which is wrong. If you look at the problem, fuel pump, diesel pump, petrol pump, could be blocked carburetor partially, where it's enough for it to run okay when it is running, but not enough for it to get enough fuel for it to start. Whatever the problem is, if you look into it and rectify the problem, after the problem is fixed, it'll be fine. It'll start by itself. It won't need any help. So, while can an engine get addicted to starting fluid? No. But if the problem is not fixed, then it will become dependent on it to start. So, you know, while it's not a bad thing to use it now and again, if there's a problem with something starting, just fix the problem. Don't keep using this stuff, because it's not good for the engine overall in a long-term period. You know, there's many reasons, but we won't go into it in this video. Anyway, I haven't got enough time this morning to mess around with this, but there will be another video coming up then, in this case, of this generator. We'll have to take it apart again, and we'll have to rectify it. Try to find out what the problem is this time. I can't remember what it was last time. I don't think it was a blocked carb. Or it might have been. It might have even been. To be honest, I really can't remember. But anyway, we'll have a look at that in a future video. I think I might take this one out to a space somewhere that I can make as much noise as I want. Take a heater or something, plug it in, and give this one a good old run for like an hour. I think that would be a good idea. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate every single one of you. You're all fantastic people. And I'll see you on the next one, which by the looks of it will be a video preparing that Medusa, that SIP generator. So, yet again, as I said, if you haven't seen when I got this one going again yesterday, don't know when the video will come up for you lot though, but for me filming it, it was yesterday. And if you know where I can get the throttle linkage, just put it in the comments and I'll see if I can snap one up, because I'd love to get this one going again. If I can't get it going, well, I can, it's going, but I mean actually usable. If I can't find an actual proper linkage and a trigger and a lot I can replace, whether I'd have to, I don't know if I'd have to replace the petrol tank and the whole handle, because I don't know if I'd better get the trigger out of there or what I'd have to do. I haven't looked into it. It looks like it's one moulded piece, doesn't it? I'm going to see if I can get a piece of wire, maybe an old coat hanger, attach it to the end of the trigger, what's left, and have it routed so it attaches to the throttle and I can use it like that. But either way, I'd like the proper linkage. But if you know where there's one going, let me know. Put it in the comments. Just say, hey, there's one on eBay, or hey, there's one wherever, and well, I'll definitely have a look. It's a Dalma 100, 1982 Dalma 100. So nice one. Thanks for watching, you lot. All the best. Treat everyone the same. Treat everyone equal. We'll all have a happy life, and just enjoy yourself, because that's what we're here to do. Love life. Cheerio.